Hey, co-reporters, welcome back to my channel. I hope you had a very wonderful weekend. I wanted to talk to you about a story featuring disgraced former Teen Mom stars Jenelle Evans and her estranged husband, David Eason. It's been making its way around the internet, and it's kind of inspired this video that I'm about to work on about CPS and how it is that people like this are even able to fight over custody of kids that they should not have custody over. In the first place. It's a lot. It's disgusting. It's sad. It's just really shameful to see what is going on here. So basically, we are seeing them fight in court over the custody of their daughter, Ensley. And one thing that's rather interesting to me about this entire custody battle is that, per usual, Jenelle was exposed for lying. Do you guys remember when a couple of months ago, Jenelle was claiming that David had never even asked to speak to their child or or try to see her, anything like that? I think this was around the time when Ensley was fighting some sort of like a tonsil situation. She was about to have surgery. And so Jenelle was just going everywhere claiming that David did not care. He did not try to get in contact. He tried nothing. Well, now David and Jenelle have submitted some files in court that prove that Jenelle was lying about that, and that David, in March of this year, had been trying to get in contact with Ensley. He had been asking Jenelle to put his daughter on the phone to speak with him, and Jenelle was refusing because she was using her cell phone, blah, 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 blah. So that's number one. Number two, we're going to find out that David may have potentially stolen a very expensive technological toy from Jenelle's son, Kaiser, in order to kind of hold it over her head for access to his daughter, and a whole host of other things. He might have also stolen some keys, other equipment, etc. Let's get into the story. It is coming from the U.S. Sun, so shout out to the U.S. Sun for getting these screen grabs from the court filings. Okay, so first you see David in March of this year text Jenelle asking if she can have Ensley call him, please. And Jenelle responds saying, in a minute, I am editing a video. David responds saying, not allowed. I don't know what's not allowed. Is it the phone call? Is it the contact? I don't know. And then David shoots back, citing getting some good penis. And then we see a little bit later on in the day, well, about 40 minutes later, Jenelle says, you can talk to her tomorrow morning. I'm busy with my phone tonight. David responds saying, oh, I'm sure anything is more important to you, especially penis. Jenelle responds saying, leave me alone, stop texting me. And then this is where things get really nasty. David responds with FUBITCH, which is wholly inappropriate. Though I do have to ask you guys, for those of you with children, do you think that the way that Jenelle handled this interaction was okay, to not have her daughter on the phone with David or anything like that? Like, I'm kind of curious about how you would have handled it in your situation. We know David's a bad person. We know David has no business having kids, but at the end of the day, this is the person that Jenelle chose to be with. This is the person that Jenelle chose repeatedly over said kids. And so, at the end of the day, they created a child together, and he should have access to that child just like she has access to that child, right? But that is not to excuse David's final words there, which was FUBITCH. That was really disgusting, and he had no business sending that to her. And then we also saw that 2 days prior in March, he was also asking for Ensley. Can you please have Ensley call me before school? Jenelle says, oh, she's at school. So at this point, she didn't bother with the phone call before sending Ensley off to school. But at the same time, the text message was sent at 7:24. So I imagine the child, it was too last minute to coordinate something like that. I think that David should have sent that request the night before at the very least, because it is an early morning. And if you are not planning to have like a long phone convo or anything like that, carving that time out, then it is very hard to get that time in last minute. And then a little bit later on in the evening, we see Jenelle saying, hey, do you know where Kaiser's Oculus went? To which David responds, can you have Ensley call me, please? Laughing my ass off. To which Jenelle asks the same question. Do you know where Kaiser's Oculus went? David, same answer, which is a question. Can you have Ensley call me, please? And then Jenelle asks, did you throw it away like his phone? So apparently David in the past has thrown away Kaiser's phone, which, it's not really surprising. We know that David has, been very mean, um, some would say even abusive to this child. And so it doesn't surprise me that he would do something like that to him. And at this point, David, he seemingly admits that he has taken Kaiser's very expensive toy to about 550 euros here. So I'm saying it's $600 ish, right? US dollars that he has in his possession that does not belong to him. And he tells that child's mother that the child can have it when he gets his motorcycles. So it's like, okay, well, why wouldn't you take something from Jenelle at the very least as an adult? Why would you take something from a child, David? Like that's really not cool. That's just really like, it's making my blood turn cold. Like this guy is just such a slimy loser, And Jenelle, she just wants to get this in writing. She says, oh, so you took Kaiser's Oculus, right? And then about a week later, we get a text. And so we don't see David admitting to that, but he very heavily implied it, which I think in court would count as him pretty much admitting to that, or at the very least, they will grill him to figure out what that was all about, because that's really not okay. Now, about a week later, we see, and by the way, it was Jenelle who submitted these text messages herself. So about a week later, you see her asking David where the lawnmower keys are. He does not respond. The next day, she says, you took the check for Ensley's four-wheeler. Again, he does not respond. And then about almost 2 weeks later, a week and a half later, she sends him a PayPal screenshot showing that her PayPal money was used to purchase something that I cannot make out in this image. And an accompanying message that says, stop using my card for everything, use your own money. Well, listen, babe, your man ain't got no money. He ain't got no job, right? Like, and this is the thing. This is the thing that you risk when you get with men who do not like to work and who do not have money. It's that, not only are you financing them through the relationship, but when the relationship is over, you're on the hook for this grown man too. You know what I mean? So technically that's you guys' money, babe, until this divorce is finalized. So be very careful, ladies. Do not just shack up or have babies with just anybody. Make sure that it is someone who is financially stable, financially responsible, and a hard worker. You do not want to end up like this, working hard, for yourself, but also for a bum that you have to take care of, especially if you've got kids on top of that. Because it's just, all of these people like that depend on you. And that is a lot of pressure for one person to have. And you should not have to live like that. So, there you go, you guys. It's a very, very tense exchange between David and Jenelle. And, it's not at all surprising to me. I think we all knew that things would end this way between the two of them. It's sad for the children. It's sad that an extra child was brought into this, but that's par for the course with David and with Jenelle, right? They're totally into having kids with just everybody that they get into relationships with. Don't be surprised if David ends up knocking up that new girl as well. I kind of just want to go back to the Oculus thing. So I didn't know what that was, I went online. I said, what the heck is an Oculus, you guys? Like, what I was thinking of? Those little ugly tadpole things that the kids are finding really popular now. I'm like, did he steal a tadpole? Like, y'all know he can't be trusted with animals, right? But it's a virtual reality headset thing. And it's a very, very, very expensive. So the idea that David would have stolen this from Kaiser is just really sad and heartbreaking. Like, you should not be stealing items from, your significant other, your your ex-stepchildren, your children, anybody, in order to barter your way through a divorce or a separation. But I feel like if you were going to go down that slimy path, at least take from your ex, not from the children. Leave the children out of your messy, messy, messy divorce. I think this goes to show how he always felt about Kaiser. He used to always pretend that he was going to be the replacement dad. Nathan was, I'm not going to say Nathan was not terrible. He is terrible. He used to always just hide behind how bad Nathan was to try and portray himself as. Do you guys remember how he used to carry Kaiser around? And then there was this one scene on Teen Mom when Barbara's trying to get to Kaiser and David's like, no, do not touch my son. And he was just dating Jenelle for like a month and a half at that point. And then he was calling the cops and all sorts of stuff, and now look what he does to that child, now look, it's all disgusting. It's all vile. And you guys, I am working on an in-depth video about CPS and how it is that these people, these garbage people who have no business taking care of any children, how they're even able to sit up there and fight for the custody of a child that should not even, be cursed with the displeasure of being raised by either one of them. It all makes my heart so sad. And I really want to talk about it. And obviously you guys are the perfect audience for that video. So please do make sure to keep an eye out for it. Okay. In the meantime, let me know how you feel about this text message exchange. How do you feel about things on both sides? I think that both of them were wrong, right? So first of all, we have proof that Jenelle has been lying when she claimed that David never, ever tried to speak to Ensley, find out anything about Ensley. That's not true. And it was exposed through evidence that she submitted herself. Okay. Second of all, David swearing at Jenelle, absolutely disgusting, uncalled for. I think she should probably ask for a mediator between the two of them, because that's something that you shouldn't have to endure when you were trying to deal with the custody of a child. Third of all, what was the third thing? David allegedly stealing from a child, Jenelle's child. That's something that I'm also really curious to see how it gets handled in court. This isn't like a little marble. This is like a really expensive virtual reality headset. So let's talk about that and what that says about him as a parent, that he would steal from a child, a child that he supposedly took on as his own child when he married the child's mother. Not cool. A bunch of very disgusting, degenerate people. But what else is new with these two? Let me know, you guys, all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye now.